Some people like left me comments saying like, you should debunk a history YouTuber who is very bad, like the ones who you've been complaining about recently. So I looked it up. As a very bad name, the Imperator Knight, better known as Tick History. But I'm gonna disappoint you, all of you, a lot. I watched 3 or 4 of his videos, and every single one of them was very good. Every single one of them was very good. There was not a single thing bad that I could say about them. I know that he's most famous for basically inventing his own definitions of capitalism and socialism and using that to argue that the Nazis were socialists. But the thing is, aside from that, which I intentionally avoided watching that video because I know it's gonna be fucking stupid. But I watched like a bunch of his latest videos and they were all good. Every single one of them was good. I think you guys need to learn to, like, at least the people who were saying this shit to me, need to learn to assess individual videos on their own merits, because most of the shit that he makes is very good. If you just avoid the subjective shit, like his definition of socialism and capitalism, and focus more on the things where, you know, it's a lot more objective. Like, you can define socialism and capitalism however you want, and then use your own definition to make an argument for whether a thing was socialist or capitalist or whatever. But say you were making a video about like a question of, did the Soviets do human wave attacks like all the ex-Nazi officers and generals said they did after the war? That's something that you can show to be true or untrue, at least as close as possible as you can given the evidence, by looking at the evidence. It's different to something like creating a definition to make a political argument for something that you prefer politically. And I watched like a Churchill video that he made about how Churchill was dumb, funnily enough. I watched like a bunch of videos he made about like the Eastern Front. All of them were very good. You know, he doesn't just go over the, like, what actually happened. He goes over the counter arguments for what other people have said. He, you know, talks about how and why they are wrong, talks about individual sources and compounding evidence to prove it. He talks about historiography on the topics that he talks about. It's all very good. It's not difficult to avoid like videos like this, where he talks about definitions of like subjective things like socialism and capitalism, which you can do because socialism and capitalism, they don't exist. They're descriptive terms for very complicated systems, only one of which you could even claim was even remotely intelligently designed by humans. Capitalism is more something that just sort of cropped up as like a historical process. You know, I can say this is a cup, right? This is a cup. Definitionally, you can say this is a fucking cup. But what socialism is and what capitalism is, you can't just say that so easily. So, it's not bad at all. Certainly not even remotely cut from the same cloth as like the just make shit uppers like fucking Kraut and stuff. Like someone who basically reads books and tells you what the books say and compares them to other books and then explains to you why he prefers the conclusions of one book to another based on the evidence. That is infinitely better than like Kraut, who just makes shit up, says it unsourced, and then moves on, acting like he just proved it to make like a political argument. So I don't give a shit if he has terrible politics. I would assume someone who makes videos about World War II has terrible politics. That's normal. Most people who make videos about World War II got into World War II for every single wrong reason you could possibly imagine, so it doesn't fucking surprise me. I'm more surprised to find someone who talks about World War II who doesn't hang on to all of the fucking Nazi-crafted mythology about how the Soviets were like an unthinking Asiatic horde or whatever, okay? It's a you know, not a bad channel at all. I don't give a shit about World War II history that much, to be honest, at least in terms of the battles and shit. I don't care about military history specifically. Obviously, I do care about the broader history of World War II and stuff like that, but it's not bad at all. All you need to do is avoid like the 1 in 20 videos that he makes when he talks about this. When he talks about the definitions of socialism and capitalism, it doesn't seem difficult to me. There are plenty of liberal historians like this who are, you know, decent when it comes to actual history and terrible when it comes to actually making a sort of political assessment. You know, when it becomes a lot more subjective, when the evidence becomes more irrelevant, and when just like having petty arguments over definitions is basically what it's all about. So I'm used to people like this. So yeah, whatever. Yeah, Cochrana's a good example of someone like that. You can have terrible politics, but still nonetheless be fairly accurate when it comes down to less subjective things like how good is the evidence for this retelling of events, rather than I'm going to create my own definition of socialism and capitalism to argue for a obviously political argument, obviously a political use of history to say that Hitler was a socialist in order to delegitimize present-day socialists or whatever. So it's not bad at all. And, you know, if you think it's bad, I think you are, if you like, obviously yeah, I'm not gonna watch this. I need to watch someone saying that Hitler is a capitalist. Okay, when the question can have as close to like a more definitive answer as it can possibly have, you can never have a definitive answer. In history, his videos are a lot better. Honestly, probably better than any other channel that I've seen on YouTube aside from mine. And that's not saying that much because YouTube is infested with garbage, but yeah, it's not bad. If you think it's bad, I think you just don't know how to consume things made by people who you are inclined to dislike. That's all. Like, I'd rather watch a video that guy made going over like a historical event, honestly, than I would like some guy named like Epic Stalin 442 or 420 or whatever number reciting fucking Grover Fur to you. Okay.